Yo, it's been a crazy week. I'm your boy. I'm your host tonight. Reflect with Vaughn, comedian Vaughn Michael, torn stand-up comedian. We about to start off. Thank y'all for everyone that's joining. Make sure you drop where you coming in from and hit that like button for me. So man, this week has been a crazy week, y'all. Very crazy week. I've noticed that there are a lot of what's going on. Ellie, I appreciate you for liking that. It's a lot of thirstiness on TikTok. Like people are thirsty. Like I got on TikTok and I didn't know. I'm getting used to this culture. A lot of guys, man, y'all are trying to get at these women on these lives. I don't know about y'all live feed, but mine's been showing up. Um, I get a lot of women and I'm looking right and I see dudes are just in these lives literally like thinking that they about to get these women. Like they shooting their shot hard in the paint. Telling them they want to be with them, love bombing. I think is what they call it, love bombing. Telling them how much they love them. Um, I got on TikTok like I've been mostly like an Instagram person, right? I'm a millennial. Um, Instagram has really been my social media, so I'm just kind of getting used to the idea of being on TikTok and making this like a platform that I'm on regularly. Um, so I get on TikTok immediately. I'm starting to see people that's going live, right? And this is like it's so addictive. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, watching people lives is very addictive. So there's a couple people I'm watching their live, right? Um, I think that I'm talking to one girl. I was like, dang, she cute. I shot my shot, right? First time, I'm thinking this is a real connection, y'all. um, and then she gave me her number. We text, and she just didn't respond. Didn't respond. And I'm like, dang, like, yo, like, rejection is one of them things that's kind of tough. Like, what rejection in therapy, you learn that um, a lot of times the rejection itself doesn't hurt you. It's the wounds that it hits that hurts you, right? Especially as guys, right? We have those mommy issues, and so you get rejected, and you start hitting on those. But what I'm realizing is that there's just a lot of dudes trying to get with women on TikTok. Thank you so much, Tracy, for liking the live. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Also, please drop in the chat where you from. So I've tried to talk to this girl. She didn't do that. So I've been just going on lives, right, and just watching different creators and stuff like that. And for some reason, I just keep getting women like lives on my feed. And I'm watching it, and I'm reading the comments, and the men on here, yo, are like straight up trying to find their wives in these lives. Like they're just telling the women like, yo, you the best woman ever. You're so beautiful. We should go out. Like they never met these people, and they trying to holler at the person. So I didn't realize for me as a person, right? Like I have genuine intention. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, that's what's up, man. I'm trying to get some shows out there. Milwaukee, is it snowing out there in Milwaukee? Um, so I have genuine intent. So when I actually like someone and I like try to shoot my shot, I genuinely am doing that. Like I'm not playing no games. I don't love bomb and all that stuff like that. What's up, Barbie? Make sure you drop where you at. Where you from in the chat. So, I'm on this live. And I'm gonna tell y'all a true story. This is the craziest story you probably ever heard, right? So I'm on live with this girl, and I think she was cool. And what you call it? I think she was cool. I got you, Barbie. No, it's 60 in Milwaukee. Ooh, that's a good day. We need some of that weather out here in DC. Um, so we on the live together, and I'm thinking that everything's good. We just gonna we talking about 90s stuff. I'm like, man, I could really relate to this person, right? So we were on the live for about an hour. I joined their live, right? I'm thinking everything's good. So Fast forward, after that person ended their live, this woman, right? I was starting to watch the speed dating live. I just hopped on there, and the woman from that live ended up being on the speed dating live, y'all. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, yo, that's the girl that I just saw on the live before. Now she's on the speed dating. I'm like, yo, let me try to shoot my shot at her. I was like, we just was vibing, right? We both was 90 babies. We both had the same TV shows, everything in common. Yeah, so I requested up to be one of the guys. So they had like 6 women, and then they was like requesting to do like, these are very popular. If you ever watch it, it's actually pretty entertaining, right? So I get up there. I finally get selected. They was like, Vaughn, which one of these women, you trying to date? And I was like, I want to date the girl. I picked the one that I knew from the live. So I'm up there. Y'all, I thought I had this in the bag. I thought I was about to get this girl. So I was like, yeah, I'm asking her all the questions. I'm like, yeah, what you want to do with your life? I'm asking, what's your goals? What's your 5-year plan? Like, not just your career, but in life. Do you want kids? How you feel about long distance? So we get like 2 minutes of asking questions, right? And this is, I think, where I messed up. I asked all the questions. Then it got down to like 20 seconds. And she no longer, like, I was like, okay, you have any questions? She was like, yeah. Then the time was up, right? And then the host was like, she was like, well, are you going to choose Vaughn? She asked the woman that. She was like, you going to choose Vaughn, or you going to respectfully decline? And she was like, I respectfully decline. Yo, you was there, Sweet Pat? You remember that on that live? Tell me what you thought about that. And so like I was like, what? How did I get? I was like, yo, like, I've been rejected in my life, but it ain't nothing worse than getting rejected in front of 200 people on a live, yo. Like, you feeling like, what in the world? Like, you like, everybody is watching this. Like, and then I'm at that point now. I'm dealing with the rejection, so I need reassurance. So I got like 10 people following me from that. I'm like, hey, yo, how that live go? One girl was like, man, you did great. She was like, man, these women are just too picky. She hyped me up. She made me feel better about myself. So I am not no longer getting on speed dating. Like, Nuki, you laughing at me? Look, I am no longer doing speed dating on TikTok live, man. That we talk about. I want to get rejected in private. Yeah, I feel you. Like, DM me your answer. Like, if you gonna tell me no, let's do that 1-on-1. Like, so I give it up for anybody that gets on there. And I would say this, right? What it taught me though is, because I'm in therapy, I really wasn't upset with the woman, right? Everybody has the priority. You like who you like. But being in therapy, I think that it definitely hit on some wounds and made me realize that I need to do more healing. Because I was like, it shouldn't affect me like that. And it was just like, it brought up some of, like, I talked about in therapy. It was like, man, some of them childhood wounds and stuff like that. So we just been working on that now. Because everybody get rejected. You're just not somebody type, and that's cool. Yeah, Sweet Pat, what is your preference for dating somebody? What platform do you go on and you think is the best? So one more story before we get in our main topic. My main topic is gonna be emotional eating today, but I'm doing a couple stories before we get in there. So I recently celebrated 6 years of sobriety, y'all. 6 years of sobriety. Thank you, Nuki. And it's been a blessing. I'm a stand-up comedian, which is very hard in the field that I'm in. I feel you, Sweet Pat. I feel you on that. And thank you for liking that live, Nuki. Thank you for liking that live, y'all. So 6 years of sobriety as an artist, as a stand-up comedian, has been one of the toughest things, right? A lot of times with me, I don't drive. I have a license, but I don't drive. So what I'll do is I'm a touring stand-up comedian. A lot of times I'll get younger comedians to drive me to gigs, in exchange for opening spots, right? So I get this younger comedian to drive me to a gig. for a show, the show was in Delaware. Have you ever found out that somebody was an alcoholic, but you found out too late? So let me tell you something. So we get to the show in Delaware. This is a small town. It's like corn and everything. I didn't realize like one thing. Like I'm from Virginia, born and raised. Like people be thinking that the South is really like rural. When you get in some of these northern states, like they are rural too. Like don't have it fooled. Like a lot of America is rural, North, Midwest, even West Coast. So we get to the show in Delaware, right? We get there early, and the person I'm riding with drinks 4 vodkas, y'all. 4 vodkas. Can you believe that? 4 vodkas, sitting there just drinking before the show. Then during the show, they cut back and drunk like 6 beers. Yeah, I haven't been to Iowa yet. Y'all got a comedy club out there in Iowa? Um, so, at this point, I'm like, this dude is drunk. I'm scared, right? Like, you ever like, and I looked, there was no Amtrak, no Greyhound. We didn't get no hotel. Like he was my only ride home, y'all. And we had to drive 2 hours. Like it was so bad. I was thinking about calling the police on us. Like you ever thought about calling the police on yourself? Like that's how scared I was. I was like, yo, this dude has been drinking like this, and we about to get in the car with him, right? Nuki, ain't that crazy? The right one will come along when the time is right. That is so correct, sweet pet. I thank you so much. Yeah, God's timing. God's timing. I don't know if you believe in God, but or the universe timing. So we're driving, right? 30 minutes. There's a Wawa. He's drunk. So I was like, let me stop at Wawa. So I was like, if I can delay some of this, maybe he can get some of that drunkenness off, right? So I'm at Wawa, order a sub. Wawa, I don't know if y'all got that. It's like a gas station, 7-Eleven, but they got subs, right? So I order a sub, and it takes them an hour. They so busy. It took them over an hour to make the sub, y'all. Over an hour. And I've never been so happy in my life and appreciative of a delayed meal. Because it gave us time for him to sober up. So at this point, I felt a lot safer being in the car with him because he had that much time. So, but it did tell me before I get in the car with somebody, you gotta do background checks on people. Don't get in the car with nobody. Just, especially like people are crazy, y'all. Like you just don't know. I'm not sure. I'm born to poetry. Okay, are you an artist, Nuki? Love to check out some of your art. So I like to tell that one because I'm celebrating 6 years sobriety. And it makes you more aware of when you're sober, like of other people. Because I think that when I was under the influence a lot, I wouldn't have noticed that and I wouldn't care. I would have been like, just go with the flow. But now it's just like, yo, like I told that dude, I was like, yo, I got a future. Like I'm not just gonna be in the car with someone who's under the influence like that. You know what I'm saying? So take care of yourself with that. But yeah, all right. So our main topic today, reflection time. We're talking about emotional eating. Drop in the chat, what is your favorite emotional eating food for me? Can y'all do that for me? Drop in the chat your favorite foods when you're emotionally eating. I think for me, while y'all typing that up, it's probably going to be Twizzlers for me. Twizzlers and fast food. I could definitely do like a burger. I could emotionally eat like emotionally eating gets worse now because they got the what you call it, the McDonald's app, man. They got stuff that be on sale. Ain't nothing. You ever be stressed out and you look at the McDonald's app and they got $2 fries. Man, I be emotionally eating like crazy. So, emotionally eating, man, is one of them things where it's tough, man. I think emotional eating personally is probably the hardest addiction out there. Like, I don't think anything is hard as, like, I know people got them say them hard drugs like from the 80s and stuff like that, but I think I say emotionally eat. I say food is the most addictive thing is because you can't stop eating food. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you stop drinking, you don't have to drink alcohol no more. But when you like, yo, I'm about to stop emotionally eating, you still gotta eat the food. And like, somebody told me this the other day. Um, being an emotional eater is like being in a abusive relationship. Hear me out, for real, because it's just like, yo, food, you taste so good, like you make me feel good, but you bad for my life. Like, most food is a toxic relationship, man. Like, food will give you diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, and some more. Like, that's like a that's like a bad baby daddy right there. So, um, trying to figure out ways to stop emotionally eating. You know, um, one thing that I've been working on this week is journaling. Thank you so much, Boo Boo, for liking the live, and make sure you type in the chat your favorite food that you emotionally eat when you stress out. Um, so, yeah, cutting back on the emotional eating. One thing I've been doing is journaling. Um, I started doing that, and it helps me organize my thoughts. I'm starting to realize when you journal, because what I realized is that um, a lot of times you end up emotionally eating because you trying to distract yourself from what you actually going through, right? Like your mind, somebody pointed out to me, your mind, imagine a computer, right? And you have all these different tabs that's open. And that's your mind. But when you journal, it gets all that clutter out and it makes you figure out what your actual problem is so that you don't distract. So I'm trying to journal. I've been journaling 3 pages a day now, so that I can get those thoughts out on paper, um, and figure out the root issue. Because I ain't trying to get on Ozempic, y'all. I ain't trying to get on Ozempic. Because Ozempic is one of them things now that people are ashamed to be on Ozempic. You feel me? For real, like, man, if I got on Ozempic, like, I wouldn't tell nobody. I would just take pictures at the gym. I take pictures at the gym and sell workout courses. I'd be like, yeah, look at me. Like, I wouldn't even tell my wife if I was on Ozempic. She be like, baby, how you lose all that weight? I'd be like, God, my Dixie wrecked. What you talking about, Dustin? What is my Dixie wrecked? We talking about emotional eating. Um, we talking about emotional eating, and ways to cope with it. Um, One thing I talked about is journaling your thoughts, your feelings, so that you don't feel as distracted. Also, I've been working out, working out like 3 or 4 times a week, trying to get that going so that we don't have to feel better about yourself, right? Because a lot of times with that food, we chasing that dopamine feeling so that we can feel better. I appreciate you, Crass by Sister K, for the like. Appreciate that. Get a chance, drop in the comments your favorite food to eat, emotionally eat. What's your food that you just can't stop eating? What's your emotionally eating food? Um, so yeah, so um, definitely working on that, especially with the therapist, the emotionally eating, because we gotta stop emotionally eating, y'all. You feel me? Like, we ain't about to be doing that too much longer. Um, I got places to be, things to do. Cause we ain't trying to, like, this girl, man. She said, I watched this girl on TikTok the other day. She was like she only dates men that are healthy. Cause she was like, the biggest thing in her life, she said her deepest fear is that she gonna fall in love with a man and then he have a heart attack. Like when she said that, that shit made me think. It made me think. I was like, dang, like yo, she got a point, yo. Like we getting older, like we gotta take care of our bodies. Like once you start getting, especially like we hit them 40s one day, like everything that we ate in our 20s and 30s, that stuff started affecting us. So I'm definitely emotionally eating. I'm working out, journaling, staying away from the cakes and the cookies, and we gonna work on that though. Um, so all right. So if anybody's in here, Raymond, what's going on, Raymond? How you doing? Raymond, you still in here? What's up, Princess Polka? So we covered a lot today. We talked about dating. We talked about emotionally eating. Um, we're gonna pretty much wrap it up. We're doing this every Monday, y'all. Reflection time, 10 p.m. every Mondays. Make sure you come check me out. Um, I'm a touring stand-up comedian. I do have some shows coming up. I have a Zoom comedy show. We call it the Von Michael Rent Comedy Show. You remember back in the days in Harlem, they used to have these rent parties. Um, so I'm doing that, but it's going to be Zoom online. So if you're interested in that, send me a DM. I can send you the link for that. That is going to be on February 23rd. We're doing that every last Friday. A Zoom comedy show. It's gonna be me, some of my funny friends. You can watch online. So if you're in Iowa, no matter where you're at, you can watch this show. I also be in Lebanon, Virginia, May 15th. So if you're in Virginia, May 15th, I got a show out there at the small theater. It's going to be really cool, man. I'm excited about that. And I got some more shows that's going to be coming up that I'll tell y'all about. But we definitely going to do this um, every Monday, 10 p.m. Um, you can check out, I got some sketches that just dropped today. Hilarious. Make sure you check out that. But I appreciate everybody that joined in, came, watched, and supported. We will be back next week for more live. So, other than that, man, I'll take a few minutes to see if anybody has some questions. But other than that, we're going to get off after that. So, if you got any questions, go ahead and drop that in the comments. Anything you want to talk about, um, I'll let that go for a few minutes. And then after that, we're going to be out.